This video will be put into two main parts, Synnibear03 and Kumo. Content warning for these are grooming, pedophilia, essay, talks of noncon, ableism, transphobia, and grooming defending. I wanted to start off this video saying I know this isn't my usual content, but I felt it important enough to make because it is a big problem in the animation meme community and the commentary community as a whole. Synnibear03, formerly known as Scootaloo Loves Sans, is a big person in the animation meme community. Now, having moved on to more commentary videos, a recent document has come out about her having sexual conversations with a 14-year-old. All documents for this situation will be linked below. Just be warned, a lot of the screenshots have very explicit content in them. A lot of the images in them were blurred because she was sending pornographic drawn images to this 14-year-old. I want to preface this by saying that this isn't the first time Synni has shown behavior like this. In a previous call-out doc from over a year ago, someone called out Synni for showing sexual explicit images, conversations, and overall being inappropriate in front of minors. The person at the time was under the age of 18, being around 16 to 17 years old. The main reason I talk about this doc specifically is because it shows a pattern of behavior within Synnibear03. Specifically, I wanted to talk about the behavior because of their recent response video. Personally, it is not good at all. I'm gonna be going point by point and explaining why this response is abhorrently bad.
It honestly feels like everyone has their own definition of what grooming is, which is so fucking dangerous. But smart people define child grooming as the act of deliberately establishing a relationship with a child to prepare them for abuse. As an action in and of itself, grooming does not have criminal penalties, but facilitation of a criminal sexual act is considered a crime. Many of you
Synnibear03 starts off the response video with a bad opener. They start off with saying that it had to be intentional for it to be grooming, which, no. It can start off as unintentional. But you knew their age, Synni. You asked them their age. You knew that they were under the age of 14, and you still, right then is where you should have not sent anything. Not sent any of the pictures, not talked to them sexually at all, or anything. But you did, after knowing their age. That is where it became grooming. That is where it became intentional. Another point later on Synnibear03 tries to put out there is that they were both talking about stuff they were into, like masochism or pseudo-masochism, which still not appropriate to be talking about with a 14-year-old. If you don't know what masochism or pseudo-masochism means, masochism basically means feeling pleasure from pain.
Majority of the inappropriate conversations we had revolved around sadomasochism and like sadistic fantasies, not really sex. Sex was definitely brought up, but it was never my intention to educate NO about it.
My thing is that Synnibear03 even says that sex was brought up in conversations between them when they shouldn't have been. They admit to being irresponsible while talking to them and regretting it, but they're still trying to push this video to prove that, oh, well, I'm not actually a groomer. This doesn't make me a groomer. I should still have a platform even though I was talking like this to a 14-year-old and have a past of doing this before in front of underage people. No, you don't get a second chance for doing this at all. If you won't give this second chance to other people you talk about, putting them down and pushing the narrative that, oh, it is terrible and no one should do it, and that they shouldn't have a platform ever anymore after this. Take your own advice, Cinny. Get off the internet. Go away. No one wants you around here. You're not safe to be around minors. You're inappropriate. You have been multiple times in general. I want to make it clear that this isn't the first time that Synnibear03 has confessed to being inappropriate with this minor. They've done it at least 3 times now. One in Birdie's video, a second in their own apology video, and now in this video, they admit to being inappropriate with a 14-year-old. The first time they admitted to sending porn to a 14-year-old was whenever their roommate, Jack/Birdie, confronted them on it. They didn't come forward willingly. Their roommate had to confront them on it after they were freaking out about another call-out doc, but refused to tell their roommate why.
It's okay. Here, I'm gonna tell you what I know, okay? Soph told me that you've been sending porn to Enno, and she told me because I deserve to know.
Uh-huh.
And, you knew that Enno was 14.
Uh-huh.
I think this is very predatory. I don't support this. I don't condone this, and oh, fuck.
Cinny then, admits to what she did in a previously deleted video, apologizing for talking to this 14-year-old sexually and wanting to go and get help for herself. She then deleted this later on, but it is still downloaded and around to give proof that she did admit to sending this 14-year-old inappropriate images.
I've been an irresponsible content creator, and I've been acting inappropriately towards my fans. This alone is enough for me to realize I need to make sweeping changes to how I conduct myself and how I interact with my fans. But the most serious thing I've done is I've groomed a minor. I became friends with a 14-year-old after I made a mental note to myself to not become friends with minors again, and I overshared with them. I shared graphic, explicit materials with them when I shouldn't have. I groomed this child, and I knew what I was doing was wrong, and I betrayed everyone who looked up to me. I betrayed my—
Synnibear03 confessed to grooming the 14-year-old. They confessed and they knew it was wrong. They're taking it back now because someone convinced them that they didn't groom this child even though they did. I will get into who that was later because he's important, but for now we'll be focusing on Synnibear's apology response, or just the response. I want to state my biggest problems with this video, mostly just the fact that only almost 9 minutes of it is only talking about the victim. The other almost 30-40 minutes of it is them talking about their roommate who doesn't even matter anymore to the situation. You weren't being sensitive to the victim. You didn't even apologize to them for anything you said or sent. You took that apology away. I'm awestruck because what? Why is only 8% of your response video to you grooming someone about the actual victim? So let me put out the timeline here. Synnibear gets confronted with this evidence, agrees that they did it and that it shouldn't have been done, agrees that it was, if it's not grooming, borderline grooming, makes an apology saying they'll come back to the internet when they're better and don't impulsively make actions like this. Take that apology away because they went and because someone came to talk to them about it. And now the victim doesn't even get an apology for it. Next part of this response is Synnibear just talking about their roommate. That's how little that the victim got, and that's what we're going to be going on to, because it is a whole bunch of stuff. Jack/Birdie is another person in the animation meme community. They're pretty popular, or infamous, as people put it. But that's not a me video. They have a video explaining all that on their own channel. But Jack was Synny's roommate and previously moved out due to the situation going on. Synnibear03 is trying to paint Jack as a scammer because they weren't actually in danger. They didn't feel safe because you groomed a minor. You betrayed them, like you said you did. They were previously in abusive relationships, an abusive home. That's why they aren't safe around you, Synny. That's why they don't feel safe. Right before Synnibear's video came out, it was Jack who, on Twitter, gave evidence of Synnibear03 saying that she wanted to kill him and that she was going to kill him. I will be sharing screenshots of that, but I just want to make it known that she did in fact say she wanted to kill him. I want to say that most of Synnibear03's video is her just going on angry rants about Jack, her roommate. I know that they both had a very close relationship from videos, but this isn't supposed to be about Jack. It was supposed to be about the victim and what you did to them. You go into long angry rants about Jack and how he wasn't the actual one who helped with money and that you were slaving away to work and bring bills in and everything. I don't think that should have been public. It shouldn't have been. Not even in Jack's video. That's a conversation between you both. But that's not even the main focus of what this should have been about. People are trying to drown this out as to just a dumb roommate fight between you both when it wasn't. A child got hurt here. You sent inappropriate images to a minor. You talked to them sexually. Why is this 30-minute video only about Jack, pretty much? Even the start of the video, you were going into an angry rant about him. Quick cut in here, but I just realized that Synnibear03 tried to paint Jack as the one who told her it was grooming, even though there's like 2 other people involved who can tell you it was grooming. The victim and the victim's friend, not just Jack. They tried to say that Jack is the one that told him that it was grooming, but it's just wild. Take a listen.
Nothing in the past week has made sense. I was completely convinced that I was a predator and a groomer and that I needed intervention. I'm realizing that I might not even have a clear understanding of what grooming is. I believed I groomed a child because Jack told me I did, and I believed him because I trusted him. But Jack doesn't know what he's talking about. I made my confession under duress. I fully believed I was a groomer because Jack told me I was one, but I don't believe that anymore. I am not a groomer. I did not groom Enno.
You can say that you didn't groom Enno, but you did talk to them sexually. You talked to them inappropriately. You sent them pornographic images that you drew. That's not right, Synny. Even if it's not grooming, like the technical definition that you wanted to put it as, you still did this. You can't take this back. You probably most likely traumatized them, and that's not okay. This part of the video is where I would say that Synny had the worst opener. She immediately tried to put some point of blame on Birdie / Jack for all of this. Jack didn't make you do this. He made you confess to doing this, yes, because you needed to. You were talking like this to a child and you were hiding it from people. You knew it was wrong. You talk about people who do this as wrong. Why would you try and paint Birdie as the bad guy here if you're the one that did this? If you're admitting to doing this, why are you saying that Jack is wrong? I will be skipping over the parts where Cindy talks about SA with Jack, because personally that's not my place to say on if it was or not. That is between Jack and Cindy personally.
Fruits, dude. Jack's GoFundMe is a scam and it's slanderous. Jack's selling point on the GoFundMe that raised over $10,000 in like 3 days was that he didn't feel safe living with me anymore. As if I'm some sort of evil, deranged, violent rapist that was gonna groom Jack next for saying awful shit about me in the next room. Ironic, considering I was a fucking sobbing mess on the couch, laying in the fetal position, breaking down over the awful shit that he said to me. Jack was not financially independent.
I want to talk about this because basically Cindy just said a flat-out lie. Jack did not say that she was a flat-out rapist that was gonna rape him. He said that he didn't feel safe there because of what you did. And that he just didn't want to be around it. That's all he said. He didn't say you were a rapist. Yes, he said that he said that there was some uncomfortable touching, but that's about it. He didn't say that you were a rapist. He said he didn't feel safe around you for what you did to a minor. Before Cindy put out this video, it was found out in screenshots that she was talking obsessively about Jack before they moved in, claiming that she had fallen in love with him and that she would have manipulated him into dating her because of how low he was feeling at the time. This just isn't right mindset for you to be living with someone you're obsessed with. Even if you aren't now, this is still weird conversations you were having with people. Of course he wouldn't feel safe around you if these were the kinds of things you were saying to people before you moved in together. Even the things you said afterwards wouldn't make him feel safe. You said he wanted to kill him for frick's sake. Ugh. Just, wow. I cannot share screenshots of this, but it is actual evidence that she was sharing a non-consensual comic of her and Jack together before he moved in, and I just don't like that either. If that was going around, I wouldn't feel safe living with her at all. So of course people are gonna say you're deviant towards Jack if this is what was found out that you did. She then goes into a long rant about financial stuff between her and Jack, which I don't really think is important to this video. It wasn't important to be public at all, besides it's something she wanted to make clear because of something Jack said in his video about rent and stuff. It's not important to the overall conversation. She called Jack a scammer when he isn't a scammer, and it's not slander if it's proven through evidence of screenshots that you were unsafe to be around him, and that he even has evidence right now for a restraining order against you. At this point, Cindy tries to turn it around and say that she was the one paranoid about being hurt by Jack or someone else through messaging a friend, which I don't particularly believe, because she hasn't shown any evidence of Jack doing anything towards her. As far as it's known, Jack has her blocked on everything and has moved out and does not have contact with her. I would also like to point out that she calls Jack a scammer when she's not even using scammer right. Jack's using the money what he said he was going to. He didn't feel safe. He started a GoFundMe. He got enough money for the GoFundMe, and he's moving out to an apartment that he feels safe in. Definition of scammer is someone who's committing a fraud or dishonest act. And the way some people put scammer is that he's not using the money for what he said he was. When he is. He's getting an apartment safe away from you that That's all. I want to give a warning that from here out on in the video, I am probably going to get very angry. Mostly because of personal reasons towards talking about Jack's abusive family. Yeah, just want to give that warning. I'm gonna play this long clip for y'all and explain why afterwards.
And honestly, in our friendship, I'm not sure why he felt like he needed $10,000 from a GoFundMe just to get away from me. That's a shit ton of money. Maybe it's for a fresh start, but it feels a bit exploitative. It feels strange to make a video educating people about someone you believe to be a predator and then ask for a shit ton of money that isn't even meant to help the victim. I feel like he could have asked for enough to buy a plane ticket and a few months of food. Even then, I'm thinking about how we spent 4 days in Seattle for vacation and Jack's family was exceptionally generous. His aunt let us sleep on her couch for those 4 days, and his grandparents each gave us hundreds of dollars just to shop in Seattle, as well as paying for our plane tickets to and from Seattle. But I heard the aunt suggesting Jack ask his papa for expensive gifts because he's likely to buy them for him. If Jack needed money, I feel like he could ask his grandparents for help. Plus, his aunt went to fucking law school. She could probably help him find affordable housing under the guise that Jack is too disabled to work. I feel like his family would be more than likely to help him since Jack keeps framing the situation as an emergency. He needs to get away from Synnibear03 right now!
Okay, let's get into this. Synnibear goes into talking about how Jack's family most likely could have helped him, despite the fact that she helped him make a video exposing how abusive they were. They went on vacation, yeah, but all of that was most likely good face. So they would help you think that they weren't actually as bad as Birdie says they are. Like, that's obviously what's happening. You can't just go to them for money. He was abused by them. He doesn't want to go live with people he was abused by. Used by. Are you kidding me? Wow. I can go more into this, but it's just a lot, and Jack doesn't need more pain right now about all that. He really doesn't. And I think this part was extremely terrible for her to put in. Another thing that comes up is Synnibear saying that he didn't need all of that money just to get a plane ticket and go somewhere. You don't know, did you research how much apartments cost? How much rent he might have to put in to actually get the apartment? Some people make you put in 3 months rent for you to be able to get an apartment. And sometimes and nowadays it's almost $7,000 to put towards rent in an apartment, plus the food he needs to stock his fridge, to eat. You clearly didn't think it through when you were making this part, and it shows. The next part of that is just Synnibear03 talking about the cover art used for the GoFundMe, and that's already been talked about in Harley TBS's video. I suggest you go watch that. But basically, he just threw it together. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. That's basically all I have to say for the response video. It's just bad. Really bad and horrible. The victim should get better closure than that. Jack's not a scammer. He's using the money for what he said he was using it for, and he's not being dishonest about it. He didn't feel safe around you, bottom line. And there's plenty of evidence to say why. The second person I'm going to be talking about in this is a YouTuber named Kumo. Kumo is a commentary YouTuber. He mostly just does debate live streams and argues with people, and yeah, it's not really important. He's not very well liked in the commentary community, mostly because of him being ableist, transphobic, anti-LGBTQ+, and, yeah, he also doesn't make very good, well-faced jokes. A lot of them are mostly just making fun of people. I don't like him very much, neither do a lot of people. Understandably why, once I get into the live streams he did. As previously stated, Kumo is a commentary YouTuber. He's not very big. The main reason he got into this was because he went to Synnibear03 because he was skeptical of the evidence of her talking inappropriately with a minor. Because he didn't see it as grooming, but she did talk inappropriately with the minor. The first thing about these live streams Kumo made is that he's using fan art made specifically for Birdie for the thumbnails. The person who drew them asked him to take it down. He refused multiple times, and even insulted the person who made the art. He's just all around being a giant a-hole. Going into the live streams, Kumo doesn't give any evidence at all. Like, I can play the entire live stream, and he doesn't give actual evidence of Jack being a scammer. He just says, oh, they didn't actually need the money, so that makes him a scammer. Even though they do need the money to get an apartment away from someone they felt unsafe with. But, you know. He also just... He mostly... The live streams are mostly just him being a jerk and transphobic. He misgenders Jack multiple times. Jack goes by he, it. He, it. And Kumo, the whole stream, is calling Jack a her. And Jack isn't a her. Jack isn't he, it. It's not that hard to get right. It's not that hard to respect people. I don't understand why you can't just respect people. But he also says that because I'm just gonna play you a clip of what he says and comment on it afterwards because I can't talk and apparently say pronouns correctly. So I'm gonna play that for you real quick.
Before in like an older video, but like if your pronouns being respected is like higher on your list of priorities than your fucking survival, you weren't fit for this world.
Just from this statement alone, it is clear that Kumo didn't do research on anything. Birdie's past. There's an entire, almost 2-hour video explaining why he couldn't go back to his parents. He even said it in his video, talking about why he had to leave. His parents and family are abusive. If he did go back to them, he wouldn't be there for long. They would have thrown him out to be homeless. I also find it completely disrespectful that he said that. Even if that wasn't the case, and he didn't have a way to get back to living with them, he doesn't owe you a reason. Plain and simple. That wasn't the only time Kumo decided to be blatantly disrespectful towards Jack and his abusive family. There's also another clip I have of him being extremely disrespectful and just claiming that they don't respect him. Well, yeah, they don't respect him. They abused him for all of his life, and they are unsafe for him to live with full time. It's not hard to understand.
I highly doubt I'll be able to stay with any of them because
they don't respect your pronouns. Just be fucking honest about it.
I like how Kumo just says these things without doing research. He said that with his full chest and didn't look into why. He just said it. Like, no, that's not the only reason. They were abusive to him his whole life, and you just don't understand it. You haven't understood it in many situations. And just... God, why do you do this? You're such a horrible person. Kumo decides to also be blatantly ableist towards Jack. Jack has stated multiple times and given proof records that he is in fact disabled and cannot work a normal job. He works off commissions and Social Security for his disability, and Kumo just decided to disregard that and say that he's just lazy. Kumo also went on to basically say that what Synnie did was not grooming. He stated it in the comments section and in the live stream itself. I find that absolutely disgusting. There's evidence of her being sexual with a minor, and you're just out here saying that they aren't actually traumatized by it, that it wasn't actually anything. Like, why? You have no reason to make this other than the fact that someone took a screenshot of you saying it was just for views. If you don't actually care, don't make a video, and you're disgusting. I also want to just share all the screenshots I can get of him being absolutely transphobic in the comments and disgusting towards Jack. He misgenders him a lot and says a lot of disgusting jokes in the comments. Even one of them said she can spit on it after someone corrected Kumo's pronoun use towards Jack. It's just disgusting. Sorry for lack of a bunch of screenshots there. Kumo has been deleting comments from his comment section on that video. There used to be a lot more, mostly because they're all against him and he's getting ratioed, which is absolutely hilarious and deserved. Synnibear is a groomer and was talking sexually to a 14-year-old. Like, dude, it's the base of it. You're weird too. From here on out, it's just gonna be me ranting, because this is not the first situation this has happened. It has happened multiple times over, and I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of people treating it lightly. I'm sick of people not taking it seriously. Kids get involved like this. They talk sexually to a minor. Someone under the age of 18, who was 14 actually. They talked about horrible stuff. Non-con. Non-consensual stuff. Like, why? Why do we keep letting this happen? Why can't adults just be normal around kids? I'm 21 years old. I do not talk to kids this way. I'm not even friends with a lot of kids. My viewer age range is not even 13. People who watch my videos are 18 to 21 years old. It is not that hard to click not block in all areas. Like, there's an option for it. You can either say no, it's not for kids, but don't block it. Why? This cannot keep happening. It is outrageous and disgusting. Synnibear, you need to get off the internet. I also want to talk about some other things in this. Mostly just everyone's supporting the victim in this, and it makes me extremely happy. Everyone's supporting Jack, and that makes me happy too. Jack's not a scammer, plain and simple. The money's going towards what it's supposed to be used for. Getting apartment, food, cat food for his cat, etc. I can't believe Synnie's doing this. It's just bad. That's all. Synnie, get off the internet. Go away. No one likes you. Kumo, I know I can't convince you to, like, respect people, but you didn't even try to respect Jack. You didn't even try to respect the victim. The 14-year-old. 14. That doesn't need to be repeated over and over again, but apparently it does. You're a horrible person. You're transphobic. anti-LGBTQ+, you don't respect people at all. Not even if they deserve respect. I don't respect you either. Kindly F off. That's about all I can say. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was informative to you, and I know that the audio is probably bad because this is my first time making a video like this, and I don't know how to really do it correctly, but I hope it's okay, at least. Thank you. Goodbye.